Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I really hope so that you guys like and subscribe. I am so sorry. So sorry. I did not have time to post what's it called? To post videos today. So we're gonna start with this one. Why Five Nights at Freddy's is so popular. The truth.
First scene. It puts Game of Thrones to shame. And before you call bullshit, I would know. I did a video on that too. In Game of Thrones, you at least know what the hell is happening. There is seriously a debate going on right now on whether Five Nights 4 takes place in 1983 or 1987. We can't even agree on the year. It's 1987. For all my years on the internet, I've never seen this sort of all-encompassing cultural phenomenon mystery hunt that's only now been solved by a video we made last week. I'm only half joking. That video is pretty good, just saying. No matter how you feel about the FNAF series, you have to admit that Scott Cawthon has created super deep, crazy lore and caused the biggest hunt for the truth since JFK's assassination. For you kids out there, that guy used to be president. That's a decent enough segue to talk about the mastermind behind it all, Scott Cawthon. This mystery genius is a huge part of Five Nights' success. Yeah, there's the obvious, he made the games, but there's also the fact that he's worked at an absurdly fast pace to produce these things. Anyone who knows anything about game development can tell you that even a relatively simple game like Five Nights at Freddy's takes many hours of development, art design, storyboarding, sound design, and more to create. Scott releasing 4 of these games in less than a year is up there with George Plank in his hour-and-a-half plank hold. You don't know what a plank is? Okay, moving on. Scott's work ethic is impressive, but it's also impressively greedy, isn't it? That's what I thought at first. And then I read that Scott donated $250,000 to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. That's not greedy. But there's more to Scott's story. He's not new to making games. In fact, he's been doing it since he was a teenager. Scott spent much of his working life creating Christian games, which, despite good reviews, were all financial failures. Eventually, he fell into a deep depression and stopped making games altogether. Later, his insurance company caught wind that Scott had mentioned suicidal thoughts to his doctor, so they canceled his life insurance policy. In one of the most poetic real-life scenes I've ever heard, Scott realized that not only did his life have no value, but neither did his death. There, empty, Scott felt himself called back to making games. But this time, instead of Christian games, he had a great idea for a horror game, Five Nights at Freddy's. Crazy, right? But there's another reason for Five Nights' popularity. One of Scott's earlier games, Chipper & Sons Lumber Co., was destroyed by game critics who called it unintentionally terrifying and the characters soulless and creepy. In an interview with IGM, Scott said, "I was heartbroken," and was destroyed by game critics who called it unintentionally terrifying and the characters soulless and creepy. In an interview with IGM, Scott said, "I was heartbroken and was ready to give up on game making. Then, one night, something just snapped in me, and I thought to myself, I bet I can make something a lot scarier than that." And that's how Five Nights at Freddy's was born and became the behemoth it is today. It's a story of perseverance, of doing what you love for its own sake, of taking your failures and using them as opportunities to grow and get better and discover strengths you never knew you had, of using the unique power of the internet to create a wildfire that can't be put out. And that's the truth. Maybe. Or is it? You decide! Last time, I asked if you believe my arguments for why Super Smash Bros. Will never be a major esport. I think some of you didn't catch that I was trying to point out ways to increase Smash's chances to make it as a major. But you know what? No big deal. Whatever. I'm not upset. It's fine. According to the numbers, 45% of you were convinced, 31% didn't really care, and 24% thought I was some sort of moron. That's better than expected. This time, I've got a simple one for you. What do you think of Five Nights at Freddy's? Do you maybe like Five Nights? Or do you maybe wish this craze would finally fade away? Click one, and maybe we'll influence Scott's decision on whether to continue the franchise. You never know.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at one thing. We call that a good start. Mark West.
Five Nights at Freddy's. World. It's the latest of the uber-popular franchise that conquered YouTube and made people question why they needed to watch 20 hours of theories on Purple Man. You may regret spending so much time watching half-baked theory videos. You probably lost a lot of sleep watching half-baked theory videos. You probably ignored your girlfriend watching half-baked theory videos. You probably let your dog starve to death because you were too distracted watching half-baked theory videos. But don't worry, this isn't a theory video. It's a fact video.
With FNAF World still on everyone's minds, now is the perfect time to go back and take a look at this insanely popular franchise. These games literally changed the landscape of gaming content on YouTube, creating new YouTubers centered around FNAF content, and skyrocketing others into a new level of YouTube stardom. But before we take a look at how this all happened, and how this franchise revolutionized the Let's Play genre, let's take a look at what this new FNAF game is all about.
Alright, let's do it. Here we go.
You think this guy does drugs? I think... No, cut to me. Let's start at the beginning. Right about here, on the Five Nights at Freddy's YouTube search trends graph. This is the beginning of the Fredvolution.
The first FNAF game came out in August of 2014. The first FNAF Let's Play is attributed to Ben the Scoopist, who, by what can only be described as witchcraft, posted Part 1 in July. Even though the franchise didn't gain much traction at the time, it sure did when larger Let's Players like Markiplier and PewDiePie jumped on the gold rush.
And those initial Let's Plays were only the beginning. I mean, just look at that graph we showed you earlier. Even with these videos pulling in millions of views, this was still just 30% of the way to FNAF's peak. October of 2014 is when things really started to explode. Game Theory, Smosh Games, and countless other channels started chiming in on the hype. So finally, the second week of November is when the powder keg finally blew with the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Damn!
And guys, there's something that I searched up on school, and I'll show you. The FNAF. This is a lot of information. I've been doing a lot of research about Five Nights at Freddy's. And it's Freddy's only dinner time, unknown post 1970 during return of Golden Friday, the Freddy Bear, Santa, Lonnie, and the puppet in it. One guy is hired Golden Freddy and Springtrap, and those guns have to be wound up to be worn since they not walk around by themselves. Their spring lock systems work well. At this time, the marionette strings are hooked up to the ceiling so that he can move. Average height for all three is 6. One guy is hired and kills the first child, who proceeds to hunt the marionette. The diner is closed and the hotel is thrown into stage. The marionette had to have been at Fast Food. The first child needs a suit to hunt also. Marionette is left to the dead children in FNAF Five Nights Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria 1. But if he wasn't a Fazbear's, then he wouldn't have been created. Rated at the time. Ready Fast 1. The time unknown. Post. Ready Fast. The company is bought and franchised by Fast Entertainment. Phone Gun and Purple Guy are rehired. Old Freddy, Old Chica, Old Donnie, and Old Foxy are created and put into business but are still unable to walk around are as creepy, very tall and charming. Average height being 6 to 5. Purple Guy kills 4 more children and stuffs them into the animatronic suits. Nat gives life to the rest of the children, and they swear revenge against Purple Guy. Green Champ and Golden Bunny are being used as extra rock or suits multiply. Injuries happen as the string-lock systems are returned from old age areas and possible from the children. They are thrown back into safe rooms of camera rooms that are hidden anyway from public view, along with the marionette. After a while, people begin to notice missing children, and the smell of the animatronics is closed in because of this. 32. Time early October 1987. Sunday, November 15, 1987. Phone Guy and Purple Guy are rehired. Sorry guys, I lost off track. Old animatronics from FNAF, Fazbear's Pizzeria 1 and FFD are verified with new technology such as the ability around limited region systems, although they are deemed too creepy and only the net is brought back used to even he still is on the string. New toy animatronics, Toy Freddy, Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, Toy Foxy, Mango, and designed to better appear to children, such as having net concern flash faces made completely out of a painted plastic outside with a most invisible thin endoskeleton. Inside have a full reading system that is connected to a crime database, also shorter than the old animatronic to make and seem less entertaining. 5'8". The room voice is made and by marionette's mask in red paint to brighten up the old colors and better fitting. An unnamed employee works the night shift for 8 months, but then moves to day shift after. Competing about animatronics moving around at night. Note how they do not attack the guard scenes, as they were not in the criminal database and committed no crime. Jeremy Shitgard, Purple Guy, takes the night guard shift on Monday, November 9th. The toy animatronics recognize him as the murderer from the previous security chief and hunt him down for it. Purple Guy gets the golden suit by moving it down the sky towards a murderer, his children. On Tuesday, November 10, hiding it in the Freddy suit, they alerts the old Freddy animatronics from FFP1. Old Foxy presses to hunt Jeremy that night, with the other 3 following suits on the next one. Jeremy finds the 11-year-old. He watches over children like Smith at age 13, 12 birthday party on he intends to kill later on. Mango realizes that his last chance to get revenge gets guy and bites Jeremy and did heavy damage and causing the toys to get up. This incident is later called the Bite of 87. The guy 6 murderer was caught on camera. He was convicted and sent to jail. And the phase 2 is closed. The toys are scrapped and the new set for an opening soon. Mike almost being one of the dead children isn't a particularly handgun that I admit it's probably wrong. And it's Friday, December 13, 1993. Phone guy is rehired. The reins of the toilet down and Roger had to hire the toilets, but in different safe words. Working animatronics are forbidden from entering. The old animatronics from FFP1 are modeled the safe parts and are brought back into the business. The later the children get angry and start attacking anyone who is wearing the purple Freddy Fazbear's uniform at night. Phone guy works at the night shift from 33 Pizzeria opens until November 7th when he was killed by the angry janitor. Mike's mate is hired November 8th and starts working night. Still, he finds of the utensils and then when he messes with the animatronic A.L. He is permanently fired the next day. Someone before Phone Guy's death, Purple Guy escapes jail and runs up to the pizzeria to get rid of the murder evidence by ripping apart the old four animatronics till he has to leave, but the later Mr. Hunt and chase him. Since they were heard from the animatronic Purple Guy, he hides in Springtrap, his soul in Springtrap. Breath loses the Springtrap, locks it to killing him and trapping his soul in Springtrap. After years after the battle, he goes down to Soviet. The animatronics still work, but when left to rot, that is okay. They should disband. Fast was right. Horror accident. December 2, 2003, Sunday. One guy. The Golden Penny is being controlled by Jeremy. Would they be purple in this game, but not in the third one? Golden Freddy and normal the ghost. The Jeremy needs to kill second through this appears 6 night symbol 6 murderers and Jeremy plan to kill Mike that night. Shadow Bonnie. Costume Okay, that's the end of the video. Really hope so you guys enjoyed that. I was reacting to videos about information and doing about the information. Bye. Peace out.